40-plus years ago, with G. Edward Griffin and others, Bob Chapman published books, wrote books. He's given thousands of speeches. He's done tens of thousands of radio interviews. I know it's thousands a year. He does 3 or 4 a day. And we've been right about everything we've covered. You can go back and read stuff Bob wrote 40 years ago, and it was like a crystal ball looking into the future because we read globalist documents. I told you they're going to bring the health bill to a full debate. They've been telling you for a month that they aren't. Now they are this Saturday. Bob Chapman, I appreciate you holding while I was ranting. I'm going to go back to Scott, but you were on hold. You heard Scott. What did you extract from what he was saying, and what's your message to everybody out there about, is it bad for me to say we're starting to win? I mean, it's the truth. All I do, my job's easy. You know, they say there's no mercury in the shots. I go, here's the insert. It says it has mercury. They say there's no world government. I pull out a UN document where they say world government. I mean, all I am is somebody trying to save my country. I mean, I guess they can't believe that anyone legitimate and wholesome could actually be affecting change because they don't believe in themselves. They don't know that if they started 14 years ago doing what I'm doing, they could have had a great effect too. Instead, they sit there bitching and griping about me, Bob.
Well, you're right, and needless to say, I put up with it for years, but you know, a very successful man once said to me, when you're in first place, everybody wants to knock you down. And it's true. It's enviousness, jealousy, and it's something that I never thought I'd ever run into, but I have. And sadly, it's been about with people who I've known quite well. And I just can't figure mankind out. Here we are, and we are making a big inroad in what these people are doing. This passage coming up of 1207 and 604 is a monumental achievement. It's what many men and myself have fought for 50 years. It's the beginning of the end of the control of the Illuminati, and they know it. And they're furious, and that's, of course, why they attack you. I don't have the visibility you have, and so I don't get attacked as much, although the government doesn't like me very much. But just to give you an example, I was on a show yesterday, and they have these rating systems by how many talk programs are on in an hour. And I was rated, there was Rush and Hannity and Laura and somebody else. I was rated number 5. Now, that's out of 50 people. And they come back and said, who is this guy? And be as it may, the point is we are making inroads. People are listening to us because we're telling the truth.
Well, Bob, let me stop you. I mean, we should be, Bob, I agree. We should be figuratively popping champagne, running, but we can't because the fight continues. We're actually starting to turn the corner here. We can see the corner. We're approaching it, and we should be popping champagne, running around the streets. We've gone from no one knowing the Fed's private, maybe 1%, to almost 80% now in polls. Looks like we're going to get the audit of the Fed, and suddenly there's this chorus bitching. I think a lot of that is staged, being put out, and then other weak-minded people parrot it. It's like we're supposed to lose. We're supposed to never have any. They have loser, defeatist attitudes. I mean, Bob, are you not? I mean, I know you're excited. You've been fighting for 40-plus years against these bastards. They've run you out of the United States. You don't even live here anymore. You've been fighting them, and now we're having some success, and everybody's mad about it.
Well, there are some people who are mad, and again, it's envy and jealousy, and why didn't you do it better, or why didn't you use this method? And you're always going to get it. I don't let it bother me anymore. Maybe it's because of my age. You know, my son and daughter are your age, and so my perspective is a little bit different. In as much as I have found that over the years, don't get excited, be patient, and in the end, you'll win. And you just got to do the right things. And, Alex, you're doing all the right things. And so don't get upset about it.
Well, it's just Bob.
Look, you don't want to waste your time in these people. That's my feeling.
Bob, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you, but we don't screen calls, and I don't think Scott's a bad guy. We're going to go back to him in a moment, give him 1 minute to counter-respond. I'm not mad for me. I'm mad for him. I mean, I know a large portion of people, a large minority of our awakening, our movement, just have spent too much time on negative message boards, and I guess I'm somebody in life who got the best-looking girl in school over and over again. I guess I'm somebody, I'm not bragging, who, when the big 250-pound muscle guy attacked me, I beat the hell out of him. I guess I'm the guy who went down and beat bills at the Texas legislature. I guess I have succeeded in life. You've succeeded in life. And some of these people just can't get it. They just cannot understand that they could succeed if they decided to succeed, Bob.
And that's true, because most of them have the equipment. All they have to do is discipline themselves and set their goals and go ahead and get them, but you got to stay with it.
Well, I apologize for diverting. For the rest of the hour, I want to get into the economy and your expertise and how glorious this is. It looks like we're going to be able to audit the Fed, and even if it doesn't succeed, though it looks like it will, next time it will. We're fighting. We're engaging. We're resisting. Resistance is victory. But Scott in California, go ahead. You can have the final say on this.
Thank you. Well, with just a minute, going back to what you guys said, let me use the Fed specifically. The last major election we had, the presidential election, Bush's numbers, Congress's numbers were in the tank. And yet we thought for sure that the House was going to be cleaned and everything because people had it. They wanted something new. Yet all the incumbents got back in. And it's the same old people. And so we've been talking about that this system is a mess and that things are going down. This audit the Fed bill, this is not going to happen. If it goes down, look for it. It's a major false flag warning. And so the system is controlled by the same old people, and they didn't just have a road to Damascus moment. The masses are, yes, they are waking up, Alex and Bob, but they're saying, how did we get here? And that's how they're stumbling upon you guys. But the fact of the matter is that the system is still controlled by the same players.
All right, listen, I appreciate your call. Look, look, it's a process. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're not going to beat this in a day. And so you're not understanding what we're saying. The Fed is fighting this audit with everything they've got. They tried to strip it. This is not a staged event, is it, Bob?
We have crossed the Rubicon, and they better get on guard.
Hell yeah, man. Excuse me. We're in a war here, folks. And just because I'm manning a howitzer blasting enemy tanks, don't come up and gripe at me because I got grease all over my face. I mean, I don't understand it. Look, people, you got power. We can cause a revolution of understanding and awakening. We're standing on people's shoulders like Bob Chapman. But you've got to understand that to dream is destiny. To take action is destiny. And that resistance is victory.
Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
I'm not going to disrespect Bob anymore, take enough time on this other subject, because I want to get into all the important news and information he has for us in the balance of this hour. But understand, it's an illusion that the elite have all this power, just like our guest last hour was saying. That's the key. And so many people in government are serving them because they believe it's invincible, so they rationalize serving it and go along with it. When we point out that we are waking people up at record levels exponentially, I mean, the growth curve's like that. Took 30, 40 years to get to here. Now in a couple of years, we're going straight up. We have to realize it's a bunch of Bernard Madoff, Ken Lay types running this, and they're slick, but they're not invincible, and we have to have a positive attitude. I mean, I know a lot of the conspiracy mongering is overboard because so much of it is directed at me, and it's all made up. People can't believe that I'm legitimate and real, that this could be happening. It's happening because there are good listeners out there taking action. You are the power. Bob Chapman, any final comments on this? And I want to get into what's happening to the dollar, what's happening to gold, and anything else you think is most important.
Dollar, gold, the future of our economy in the world.
A lot is going on. What are you most concerned about right now?
I think it's the continuum of manipulation in the markets. And we're seeing the tremendous amount of money that's flowed to major banks and brokerage houses, insurance companies, not only in the United States, but worldwide. And they use part of this money, in some instances perhaps a majority of it, to execute in the market what the Fed wants them to do, or the Treasury. And that, of course, comes through the working group and financial markets, euphemistically known as the plunge protection team. And I think that we no longer have a free market, not only in America but throughout the world, is something that we've got to change. We've got to stop the revolving door from Wall Street and the banking industry and insurance into Washington. And how we're going to do that, I don't know quite as yet. And I don't know that we will ever completely be able to stop what they're doing. But we're sure going to give them a bad time.